Are back. I'm your host, Barry Waxler, here with the lovely and talented Andrea Kay and the always incredible Mr. Urban Miaris. And we have our final guest of the day, last but not least.
Yeah, well, before we start talking to Rick, I just want to make mention, because we always like to tell everybody about all the fun that we have on the show, and you always talk at the top of the hour where you've been, and now I'm going to talk about where I'm going this weekend, and I'm not sure.
I want a full report.
Yeah.
I've been there before. I love the place you're going.
Well, this is the hot ticket in town. In fact, I'm not even sure if there's even any tickets left, but you want to, if you're listening, you want to check it out. Gen 7 is a winery here in San Diego, and they're having their 2014 fall release party this weekend up in the Crosby Estates. Yes, the Crosby Estates up in Rancho Santa Fe. It's this Sunday, the 26th, from 1 to 4 p.m. It's a little $55 to go to this amazing event. Gen 7 originally was part of the Brookside Winery family. Brookside got sold out, and now they've started it back up again. So it's an amazing event. So go to email Tim at gen7wines.com if you're interested in going and see if there's any tickets left. But that's where I'm going to be.
That'd be great. Enjoy. And when you're out there, I want you to talk to Tim's wife and get her on the show, too. She's an amazing interior designer.
I'm on it.
Okay, back to our show. Rick, welcome. Rick Puetter from Pixon Imaging.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Great. So tell us a little bit about what Pixon Imaging is. What do you do?
Well, Pixon Imaging does a number of things, and we're in a little bit of a transition right now, but we've developed a number of small, about the size of your business card, embedded computer processors that do real-time video enhancement and allows you to see through fog and haze and mist and blowing rain and dust.
So I'm gonna see your software on Law and Order SVU at some point in the future.
Well, that's always a sore point. I look at what they do, and being in the business, I know what is possible and what's not, and they stretch it a little bit at times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little bit. But we can do some amazing things. I mean, we can take things which are barely detectable with your eye and bring them out, and you can see things. And so that's why we're on, for example, submarine periscope systems.
Wow.
And the Border Patrol uses some of our products, and it just you can look out over the desert, you can see all the heat waves going up. We can throw a switch and make that all go away and bring picture in, make it clear and visible.
That's amazing. Is this all institutional use at this point? Is there anything else? Is it something that's going to end up coming down to, let's say, our surveillance cameras on the side of the apartment building?
Well, that's one of the things we're looking for. I mean, to do right now. We have some new algorithms which we just recently developed, and these are particularly for fixed camera systems like you might have on a building. And great opportunity, I think, is in China today, because that if you've seen the smog in Beijing, you know what sort of problems they have. They can't see across the streets on certain days.
Wow.
So and that same sort of thing can be used in the U.S. and other countries in the West.
Interesting. And I noticed one of your partners or one of your board members is one of our former guests.
Yeah.
So I think you got a great team there. Good old Aaron Tankersley.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of that team, I mean, you started working with these guys because you are part of one of the business incubators.
That's right.
San Diego, correct?
That is correct. We were I think we were the third to graduate out of the incubator. So we've been a great opportunity at the incubator.
Was that Rory Moore's?
Yes, Rory.
That's right.
That's Rory. Yeah.
Rory, what a guy.
Yeah, he is. He's quite a guy.
Yeah, and he loves entrepreneurs like we do, and people with brilliant, amazing ideas. Now, you are, in addition to president, you're chief scientist.
That's correct. I'm by training, I'm an astronomer. I built one of the first instruments for the telescopes in Hawaii. Those are the world's largest telescopes. So that's my background.
Wow.
So we developed things to do better pictures of stars and galaxies, and said, well, other people might want to see better too, and so we started a company that's trying to commercialize this.
Interesting.
Well, there's so many different applications for it.
Tremendous amount of applications. I mean, we have we're in Siemens medical workstations, for example. We can increase the ability to see lesions and bone spurs and all sorts of things, tumors and.
So you create the ability to see things that most people really don't want to see, Rick.
Yes, that's right.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
But sometimes it's necessary.
Sometimes
to see
it's
these
necessary, to see these things. And certainly, you can imagine the value of a system like this to a soldier who's at a dust storm, for example.
Absolutely.
You can see the enemy; they can't see you. That sort of advantage is just like it changes the whole game.
Are there other companies out there doing what you're doing?
We have a few competitors. There's no one that I'm aware of that offers as full a suite of algorithms and capabilities, but there are some that are out there, but not very many.
Right. How long have you been doing this?
Well, I mean, the business goes back to really sort of like 97, and we've changed. There's been, transitioned a number of times. We were an LLC, and then there was a time when we had an Inc., and it was still have the Inc., but both of them were open. We've closed the LLC, and so we've been transitioning, and the algorithms have been improving and adding new capabilities. We have a couple new patents now, which we're hoping to commercialize. And so we try to keep evolving. And right now we want to try and go into a more commercial market where there's a larger, customer base.
Right.
So who would be your target market right now?
Right now, it depends a little bit on what algorithms we're talking about, but for certain of our algorithms, we're looking at camera manufacturers, and we're also looking at sensor manufacturers for other of our algorithms. So we have a new CCD readout technology, which is going to, I think, has a capability of revolutionizing low light and high dynamic range imaging for surveillance.
So you want to license other companies to bring your technology into their world?
That's our new thrust, and we've been working on that for over a year now. But yeah, that's our new thrust.
Isn't this exciting? All the startups we have here in San Diego, we get first clue on what's really going on before the rest of the nation and world does.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? San Diego has its own little niche carved out in the world. You have all the industry up in L.A., and San Diego has a lot of technology, biotechnology, and
beer.
Beer, yeah. Biotechnology and beer. That's a great mix. So you're listening to Close Up on San Diego Business here on KFSD AM 1450 and Bloomberg Radio, streaming live on the web at financialnewsandtalk.com. Give us a tweet at CloseUpSD or find us on Facebook. We want to hear from you. I'm your host, Barry Waxler, here with my co-host, Andrea Kay, and Urban Miaris, and our guest, Mr. Rick Puetter from Pixon Imaging. So, well,
I know that you're looking at commercial applications, but I'm thinking about so many just different security applications. I'm thinking about in particular like our police force and how it might be helpful to them, particularly when seems like we just have so many more mob kind of situations going on. And I would think, that it would be helpful when you've got 2,000 people in the streets rioting and only, a dozen police officers.
So in other words, we need to take the show back to New Orleans.
Well, yeah, especially, no, not during Mardi Gras, because there's things I don't want people to be seeing. Not me at Mardi Gras.
Well, interestingly enough, I mean, it seems that we have more customers outside of the United States than we have in the United States. And we've sold systems to the Japanese National Police, for example. We haven't had any sales like that in the U.S. Not because we haven't tried. It's just that I don't know what the problem is there. But
tougher nut to crack.
It is. It is for some reason.
Interesting. So how can we at Close Up help you get the word out? I think you have an amazing technology, and I think it's a great San Diego success story. So how can we help you get the word out more and help you find more of what you want?
That's a good question.
Can people go to your website and see any examples of the technology?
There are examples on the website. There are pictures of the products, videos that have been processed so they can see all the examples. All you have to do is go to pixonimaging.com, Pixon, word imaging.com.
Well, I know a lot of people in my neighborhood. I live up on Mount Soledad. A lot of people have home security systems with cameras all around the perimeters of their homes. And I just think that there's a really good use for this on home cameras.
There will be if we get if we have the volume up so that we can bring the cost down. Right now, the systems are a little bit expensive for not impossible, but we're talking about thousands of dollars per camera, and so that's a little bit, typically for the standard home camera, we would be 10 times the cost of the camera.
Oh, okay.
Sounds like we need to get you into Vegas and the casinos there.
Yeah.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
But if we get interest and we can do higher volumes, then the cost will come way down.
Right. It'll be like the calculators
Yeah.
and like
Sure.
home computers.
So where's the company positioned right now as far as its growth, maturity? Are you heavy in an R&D phase, marketing, or are you looking for funding?
We have an investor. We had a little bit of a downturn. The last couple of years have been hard on us, but things seem to be picking up, and I think our new thrust, I hope, will be successful. I think there's a good reasons we can, that it will be successful. We have some amazing new products that, for example, for a fixed camera, we have a demo out that you can barely see, or you can't see. You wouldn't know that if you see a sign in the distance, and you turn on because there's fog in the way, and you turn on our system. Not only can you see it, but you can read it plain as day.
Wow.
And so, from not being able to see it at all to be able to read, it's fantastic.
You know what? The technology is going wild, and I envision yours being a fabulous technology that's just going to get better and better and better over time.
Thank you.
So as it does, you're going to need to come back and keep us apprised. Let us know what's happening.
Would be my pleasure.
Over there.
We'll have to get a little camera going for Facebook or something. I don't know.
Are you still in touch with everybody over at the incubator? What's happening over there these days?
I have not been in touch with them. I've been pretty busy.
Yeah,
pretty busy.
Bet.
But I every once in a while we run into some of the guys, and then we or one of the guys will call, but they're still going well. They're growing.
Yeah.
They're growing.
They've got a downtown location
yes, they do.
now.
Well, they have Rory Moore over there. They're going to grow.
That's right. Rory is a real interesting person.
He is.
Yeah. You still following astronomy?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I just had an observing run up at Lake Observatory. Yeah. So I still do astronomy. I'm active in doing that. I have a project at UCSD right now, which is actually to take some of my patented image processing techniques and process one of the largest astronomical catalogs ever produced by an infrared satellite. So that's moving along. So I'm very excited about that.
Oh, wonderful!
So I still do astronomy.
Well, then help me to understand why it was so concerning to people that a meteorite, whatever it was, got within 85,000 miles of a planet recently. This past week.
This thing.
It's like, oh my God.
This thing does happen. In
85,000 miles, though, Rick. Come on. People are like nervous about that.
85,000 miles. You have to understand that that's a lot closer than the distance to the moon.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, see, I didn't realize that. See, perspective.
250,000 miles the distance to the moon.
Well, we are running short on time.
I'll keep Rick after to talk
So people can find out more at pixonimaging.com, correct?
Correct.
PIXONIMAGING.com. Rick, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming down. You're listening to Close Up on San Diego Business, where we get up close and personal with homegrown San Diego business and the people that are working hard to make a difference in our community. Give us a tweet at CloseUpSD or CloseUpSD on Facebook.